Making a video, that was like, we flew, I can't remember the date, we flew into Los Angeles, band flew with us there, we just started drinking and started sort of like talking about all the things which are going to happen in there. And it was clear that it's just going to be visual in a way that no like real stories, it's not like, it's not like acted or anything like that. The whole idea was just that we're going to perform in a beautiful place and there's going to be a beautiful girl, Juliet, there, and we're just going to be, everything's going to be beautiful. So we're just in a great old place called LA Theatre downtown Los Angeles, and we just did like a 14-hour day, and that was it. It was really easy because Bam edited it back at home and all that. He's got the equipment so for his CKY videos and all that. So it was really simple, really fun, just, and good pizzas. Very Love, I Love, yeah, that was one of the first tracks, I wrote for the album. We just wanted to have a really sort of like aggressive opener, and that was it. It's just a cool, nice riff and a couple of chords, a really simple rock song. And the reason why we shot that was that it's Bam's favorite from the album. So because it was just like more like friends coming together. So we just asked him, for what song you want to do that video for, and he said that, yeah, Buried Alive by Love, and we were like, yeah, sure, why not? It was really simple, and he loved that track, and loads of people have been loving that track. It's a bit rougher than what we usually do with the band. Yeah, that was the idea, just to have loads of fuzzy guitars and sort of like, we're grown old, I'm 26 and Gaz is like 32 or something like that. We're too old to rock and roll, but too young to die, sort of like as Jethro Tull said. So it's sort of like, I thought that this is our last chance to sort of like show the world. We had like 2 months off and just like went to the gym and all that to be able to sort of like be a bit more aggressive than we usually are. And with good production, it always helps. Because we're pretty mellow, so that was the hardest song definitely to produce and record for the album. When it comes to the album, I'm really proud and pleased because everybody in the band loves the album. Because it's usually there's no like ego clashing, but it's like if there's 5 individuals into totally different sorts of things, we're just friends. We met like school like 15 years ago, whatever. We're good friends, but it's always hard to get everybody's ideas down on tape in a way that everybody can be proud of it and happy about it. I'm really happy that Gaz likes the album, because he was like, in the last album, he was like, this is not metal, that's bad, I want to record metal, he's sort of like a simple Tom, but very lovable dude. So I'm really happy that Gaz is happy. That's the best thing about the album. Everybody's happy about it. That's beautiful. No, basically after the tour for Deep Shadows and Brilliant Hearts, we were fucked. We were just fucked, because I sort of like we didn't sort of like understand the fact that we've been working non-stop for like 4 years in a row without any proper holidays or anything like that. So me, the sort of like egomaniac and the wanker of the band, I was like already almost like on the verge of splitting up the whole thing on the tour, because we just, too much work makes Ville a really dull boy, and we just decided that now we're going to have the first like 2-month break, we've had in years, and we had the break, and we thought that, we'd just go back to the rehearsal place and see what happens, and the rest of the guys like Miguel and Linda, they went to Kathmandu, and Gaz went to wherever, and everybody was traveling around. I was like feeling sorry for myself back at home playing guitar and doing those songs, and then, but that break helped us out a lot in a way that we're really energetic and feeling good about everything, and everybody liked the songs, so we just ended up working on them like 6 months in a row, and we did a couple of gigs in England and a couple of festivals, but that was it. And then in September went into the studio and recorded for about 2 months, and then flew over to sunny Los Angeles, and among the palm trees we sort of like fixed it all together, in about 2 weeks with the help of Tim Palmer. Well, the idea that because the album's coming out pretty late in the spring, like 14th of April, so that's pretty late for a club tour. So we're starting all the gigs, you know, we're playing like festivals during the summer, maybe like 20 or 30, whatever. And then we're doing a gig in London in May, on 3rd of May, and but it's sold out already, and thank God. and we're doing those festivals, and then in October we start, probably from Finland, the club tour. And the idea behind the whole tour is like, especially in countries like Germany, that we're sort of like concentrating, we're playing in smaller venues, because then people get their money's worth. Sort of like, you know, it's going to be a bit more intense, a bit more intimate, and a bit more rock and roll. That's the plan. So we'd rather play like small clubs 2 nights in a row in the same city than do one bigger one, because we did some like sports arenas and stuff like that, and they're way too big for us. We're so animated, you know, on stage, you know, we just don't belong in there. We belong in shitty small clubs, and that's what we're going to do with the whole thing. So it probably is going to last, the tour's going to last, it starts in October, it's probably going to last like until next year, I don't know when. Yeah. Trying to please everybody. Let's see what happens with the album. That's the main question. If people don't like us, you know, then we go back home and weep and try to do some better songs for the next round, you know. I'll just keep my fingers crossed. It all looks good. I still don't have a clue why I'm a singer in a band and performing live. No fucking clue. Because I started out being a bass player for this band as well. And but then we couldn't find a singer. I had to sing the first demo. I had to be there. And because I'd been I've been playing drums or holding guitar and bass here. That's the reason why I always had like a bottle of red wine and a cigarette. Because, you know, I was nervous. And then I became an alcoholic. I'm trying to cut down a bit. Just for the sake of good shows. But hopefully it's like escapism in a way of what like Ronnie James Dio does, you know. There's so much bullshit going around in the world. It's cool if people can come into a club and just like sort of like forget about schools and bills and bad relationships and, you know, the war and everything, you know, just for that hour and a half. That's the best thing. That's what we sort of like try to achieve, maybe. It's really rare when 5 persons, you know, individuals in a band can be as one, like a unit on stage. That's really hard, but that's what we're trying to do basically. Because it's like meditation, or it's like whatever, you know. It's cool just to be able to, you know, when people forget about the world outside and all that, you know, it's just like it's like an unholy ceremony, you know, for the Finnish pagan gods. That's what we're trying to do. You know, it's just show that there's other alternatives as well. You don't have to be part of any ism. I really don't know what sort of fans we have. It seems to be pretty. The audiences seems to be pretty different from country to country. You know, in a couple of countries, there's loads of young girls, you know, throwing like teddy bears or whatever on stage, and because some countries they're a lot more grown up, and it's always pretty different. We're sort of like weird band in a way that everybody's been in a relationship for like years. So we're totally monogamous. We don't sort of invite people to the backstage or whatever. So I don't have a clue. Never got bad eyesight as well, so I don't have a clue who's there in the audience, you know. But we've had a couple of decent chats with a couple of people who've been with us since the beginning, and they seem to be very intelligent, young, beautiful ladies. And that's a nice thing, you know, for heterosexuals. Well, the whole Gothic sort of like scene around the world is so different. Like in Germany, you know, the funniest thing I've ever seen was we played in Leipzig in some festival, and the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life was a dude dressed up completely as Dracula, like Bela Lugosi. You know, that sort of like classic thing, totally looking like that. And he was still eating a hot dog, like a sausage, and there was like the ketchup was coming out of his mouth like blood. And that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But it's different, you know, like in for example in England, it seems that to be a goth is like a curse. You know, they don't care about us. They don't care about that at all. You know, they hate it. You know, goth is a bad thing. In America, it's more like a fashion statement, and in Germany, it's something like a religion. It's really weird. I love like Fields of Nephilim. I love like the Sister of Mercy, but that's just it's just like, you know, little things. You know, it's not really important. You know, I think that Black Sabbath, they wore black as well, so I think that that's where it more comes from. You know, Blackest Season, especially when it comes to Cass and Mijares, who've got voluptuous bodies, it's you know, it's sort of like makes you look a bit skinnier. So you know, as Mijares always said, that he's too fat to be a goth. So we don't belong. You know, maybe if he loses some weight, you know, we can be part of the gothic scene. What kind of sexual fantasies love metal the album inspires? That's the weirdest question I've ever heard. Hopefully nothing to do with little children or animals. You know, everything else is fine. Really, that's all I can say. You know, I don't. You know, it's pretty rocking. It's pretty organic. There's, you know, it could work in it, but I'd say that it's better for taking a wank than having a penetration with the one you love. No, not really. You know, when there's two important things which I've never understood. You know, that people are fighting against bootlegs and are fighting against rumors, and when you're successful, when you're good in what you do, that's when the rumors start, and that's when the bootlegs start. So I'm really proud of those things, you know. And the rumors sort of like, they're good. I love hearing that stuff, you know. It's just, they're the best jokes ever, you know. Hearing me like, some girl had an idea because I'm wearing this thing on my head, you know, which sort of like keeps my brain together. That's the reason. And that's my tribute to the early Bruce Springsteen. So one girl had the idea that I've got like cancer, and I'm going through chemotherapy, and that's the reason why I wear the hat or whatever, cap or whatever it's called. And so there's always funny things, you know, around it. Learning things about yourself you didn't know, and I've got such a bad memory, you know, ruined by all that pot when I was younger. Well, it might be true, I don't know.